Hey guys, it's Nick from Pick MMA and I'm back with another UFC Fight Night video, and I'm gonna be talking about the best bets I have for this card, where Marvin Vittori is gonna be going up against Jared Cannonier. And I'm just gonna do a quick recap for last week for UFC 289 pay-per-view. It wasn't really the best week, to be honest. Like, I didn't do too well, but I didn't do too bad even. I mean, like, I kind of broke even almost, so I'm not too pissed off about that. But so like the first fight I picked Maria Oliveira, who lost and just gassed out after like 2 rounds, and then Steve Ursay versus David DeWerg. I did pick Steve Ursay in my most confident underdogs, so I hope you guys took that advice and played him there. He did come through and really looked really good in that fight. I'm glad I had him in my most confident underdogs. And then Blake Builder versus Kyle Nelson. Blake Builder just not that good. I mean, he is young, so maybe he can make improvements. But if he's not beating a guy like Kyle Nelson, who's not all that technical, I mean, has okay striking, but I'm fading Blake Builder from now on. Then we had Ayman Jahabi versus Ricky Lang, and I did pick Ayman Jahabi later in the week before Saturday, and I picked him by decision, but he knocked Ricky Lang out in like the first minute, which is nice. And then Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Miranda Maverick. I picked Miranda Maverick by decision, as like almost a lot of other people did, but she just didn't look all that good, and Jasmine was the stronger girl in there. She just took her down over and over and just beat her up. I mean, Jasmine just looked really good and just dominated Miranda. And then we had Nasruddin Imavov versus Chris Curtis, and I picked Nasruddin Imavov, and he was in my one of my most confident bets ever. And he was winning up until the headbutt, and then the ref called the fight off and it turned into a no contest. And then I picked Marc-Andre Barrio by decision, and he was able to do just that, and he looked really good and put on a striking clinic on Anders. But Anders looked okay. I mean, he didn't look too bad. He was coming forward the whole time. He was getting clipped. He got knocked down like once or twice, I think. But Anders is a tough dude. I mean, Marc-Andre looked really good though. And then we had Dan Ige versus Nate Landwehr, where Dan Ige looked really good. He knocked Nate down like 2 or 3 times in each round. I think he knocked him down once like in each round, and then knocked him down twice in the round 2. And then survived the last one and won by unanimous decision. Ige looked really good. I'm glad he's going on another run. I'm excited who the UFC will give him next. I'm sure they're gonna give him a good ranked opponent, someone that's gonna be ranked in the top 10. So I really hope Danny Ige can put it all together and then climb the rankings this time, because he's getting up there in age. And then after that we had Mike Malott versus Adam Fugate, and I did pick Mike Malott to win this fight inside the distance, and he did just that. He got the submission win in the second round in the first minute. I mean, he knocked him down like 3 times. I think it was 2 or 3 times. And Mike Malott looked really good. Canada overall did really good. I mean, Canada I think was 6-0 or 7-0. And then in the co-main event we had Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. And I gotta be honest, I mean, I did not expect Charles Oliveira to look this good. I mean, this dude looked like he was locked in. He just knocked Beneil Dariush out in the first round. And I mean, Oliveira looked amazing. He was confident in his tools, confident in his striking. The way he set up that Leon Edward head kick, I mean, he threw that jab first. He parried the jab and threw a head kick, and Beneil Dariush just didn't see it. I mean, he landed that combination twice, I think. He landed it in the first exchange that they had, and then he landed it in the second. And Dariush didn't really do anything when he had Oliveira on his back. just landed. He's missing shots. Benil Darius almost kind of looked like the moment kind of got to him. Doesn't really have the experience fighting at this level, elite level. Like, he hasn't fought any champions before. So I should have picked Oliveira, but it is what it is. This is the fight game, and it happens, you know. I mean, I hope Benil Darius can come back from this, and that knockout loss was really bad. I hope he can come back and not let that knockout affect him too much. But I'm happy for Charles Oliveira. I mean, he's a big star. Canada was cheering for him the whole weekend, and he looked really good. And in the main event, guys, I picked we had Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana, and this was a one-way traffic the whole fight, guys. This went just like I predicted. I picked Amanda Nunes by decision, and that's how it went. I mean, a lot of people were saying Irene Aldana is gonna like knock her out, and I kind of believed into the hype. I mean, after I lost like a unit on Benil Darius, I thought maybe throwing down on Aldana and she might bring the fight to Amanda Nunes, but she didn't do that. My gut feeling about Nunes was right. Irene Aldana had nothing for Amanda. I mean, Irene landed that one right hand, and that was she kept that high guard and just didn't perform. I mean, she just went there to get a paycheck, and that was Amanda Nunes looked really good. I'm happy she retired. She doesn't need to prove anything else to no one. And that's UFC 289. That's UFC 289 pay-per-view for you guys. And I'm bringing the fire this week, guys. And now let's talk about this week, where we have Marvin Vittori versus Cannonier. And let's start off with the best bets, guys. The best bets I have for the first fighter on the card I have is the prelims. I have Carlos Hernandez versus Denise Bondar, and I'm picking Denise Bondar to beat Carlos Hernandez. And the most confident bet here is Denise Bondar by money line. Maybe if you guys had gotten him early, you guys are lucky if you got him at plus money, but I got him at plus 130, which is the line right now. And I think Bondar gets this done easily. I don't think Carlos Hernandez, he doesn't have any power in his hands, doesn't have any knockouts, and I don't see him taking Bondar's back. And Denise Bondar, I mean, he has a win over Steve Urse, who looked amazing in the pay-per-view UFC 289 in the amateurs. I mean, he beat Steve Urse. Has other good wins over Tamer. This guy hasn't he's faced good fighters, and Hernandez doesn't really have the power to keep him off him. I think Bondar is gonna bring the bullying presser style and just maybe I'm gonna call submission, but I think the money line is the safest play here. Denise Bondar by money line at minus 130. And that's the first bet of this, my most confident best bet. Now for the next fight I have is where is this fight? This fight on the second fight on the main card, where Nicholas Mota is going up against Manuel Torres, and I am picking Manuel Torres by TKO, which is plus 165 on DraftKings. And Nicholas Mota has been chinned a couple times. He got chinned by Miller, who's knocking guys out like at 40 years old, which is crazy. But Manuel Torres has better chin, and he's Mexican and has a good reach. I mean, he's got like 2.5 inches in reach, which is gonna definitely help him here. He's a younger fighter here, is 1 inch taller. I think he's gonna land those hooks, and Mota's gonna get slept here. So Manuel Torres by TKO, which is plus 165. Even the money line isn't unplayable here, but I think the knockout is very likely here. Manuel Torres by TKO plus 165. Alright guys, now let's go to the next fight. The next best bet on the card, where we have is Jimmy Flick going up against Alexandro Costa. And guys, I did pick Alexandro Costa in this fight, and I see him knocking Jimmy Flick out in the first or second round. I think it's gonna be in the first round, but maybe in the second round. Just take Alexandro by TKO at minus 105 on DraftKings. Maybe you can find better plus money on this prop. It's not the best prop value wise, but I think the likelihood is very, very likely, very high likelihood of Jimmy Flick getting slept here. He's been slept 5 times in his 6 losses, I think it was. Yeah, he's been knocked out 5 times. 83% of his losses are by TKO, and Costa hits like a truck for a flyweight, and he's got 3 wins by knockout. And I see him knocking Jimmy Flick out cold. Alright guys, now for the next best bet here I have is in the co-main event where we have Arman Tsarukyan versus Joaquim Silva, and I'm picking Arman Tsarukyan by TKO, likely ground and pound. I think he's gonna catch him on the feet. I think Joaquim Silva is gonna be expecting that takedown. He's gonna be like, oh, when he's gonna shoot for the takedown. But I don't think Arman is gonna shoot for the takedown. I think he's just gonna put him down with a right hand or a left hook, and Joaquim Silva is gonna get slept here. I have money on the under 1.5 rounds. I think Arman by TKO is the most likelihood, but I think under 1.5 rounds is the best value. And I got it at minus 150, and it's minus 165 I think on DraftKings right now. So the best bet here is either Arman Tsarukyan by TKO or Arman Tsarukyan, or just under 1.5 rounds. Arman's on a different level, and Joaquim Silva's been finished in the first round a couple times. I mean, he's been finished twice in the UFC. Got finished by Ricky Glenn and Nasrat Haqparast. I mean, this guy does not have a good chin, and Arman Tsarukyan hits like a truck and is very technical in his striking. Yeah. And Arman Tsarukyan, he mostly goes for KOs in the UFC. So I see him, look at his last win was against Damir Ismagulov. Like, god damn, look at the level difference. I mean, Ismagulov would dominate Joaquim Silva anywhere. I mean, look at this. Slept Christos Giagos in the first round. And that's how I see Joaquim Silva getting slept. Dominated Matt Fiorella in 3 rounds. Just dominated the guy. I mean, Matt Fiorella hits like a truck. I don't think there's not that many fighters at 155 that hit like Matt Fiorella. And then has a win over Aubin Mercier. I mean, he hit a big flying knee, I think it was, from OAM in that fight. And Tsarukyan showed a good chin in that fight. I mean, he took some crazy flying kicks, some good elbows from OAM, and yeah, he stayed in the fight. He didn't get knocked down or anything. And their odds are the way they are because there's a big level difference here, and I'm gonna go under 1.5 rounds is the best bet here. Alright guys, now for the main event, for the best bet I have is Marvin Vittori by decision. There is a lot of money coming in on this prop. It was plus 130, I think it was yesterday or a couple hours ago, but now it's plus 110, not minus. It's Marvin Vittori by decision is plus 110. At that point, I think it's just better to play Marvin Vittori by money line just in case. If you're betting a prop that doesn't have value, like 25 minutes is a long time. Anything can happen in 25 minutes. Maybe Marvin Vittori like just ground and pound Jared Cannonier and has him on the ground. I mean, 25 minutes is a long time to go. And if you're gonna bet a prop like at plus 110, there's just not enough value there to put your hard-earned money on it. I think Marvin Vittori moneyline is the safest play here. Alright guys, so that's it for the best bets. And now for the safety parlay, I think put Marvin Vittori in there, Arman Tsarukyan I put Alexandro Costa and Vadim Nemkov from Bellator, and you will get what was plus 220. I see all these 4 fighters getting it done easily, and you're gonna get plus 220 on this parlay. Not the best value, but the likelihood is very high. And now, guys, for the long shot parlay, we're gonna go with the Lucas Almeida, the underdog, at plus 170. Then we're gonna take Christian Leroy Duncan, who's a slight favorite. Then we're gonna take Cannonier, who's a slight favorite, and then we're gonna take Modestus Bukauskas, who's like a 2-1 favorite, and it's gonna pay at plus 1,083, which is a very good parlay, and as the likelihood is very likely, not very likely, maybe like 40% chance of this happening. So this is a long shot parlay for a reason. So I mean, be careful. Don't just blindly put all your money on this long shot parlay, because it is a long shot parlay for a reason. So maybe just a small sprinkle isn't too bad on it. Alright, guys, for my dog lock of the week, when I locked Marvin Vittori, I locked him at minus 105. He was a slight underdog, so he is my dog lock of the week still, because I posted a post on my community that bet Marvin Vittori at minus 105, and I put 2 units on him at that odds. So technically, he is still my favorite, my underdog lock. Alright, guys, for the most confident underdogs, we're gonna go with you can just straight money line this, or you can just take him by knockout. Lucas Almeida by knockout. He has 9 knockouts. I mean, this guy's knocking a lot of guys off. Knocked out Mike Trajano, but in the 3rd round. I mean, this guy carries his proper late, and submitted Trindle at the Jungle fight. Okay, he does have good submissions also, but I don't see him submitting Pat Sabatini. I think he's gonna scrap it out with Pat Sabatini and knock him out cold. And Sabatini is a 2-1 favorite in this fight, which is kind of surprising to me. I mean, there is still a lot of hype on him, but we've seen him get slept by Damon Jackson, who's not really sleeping a lot of guys right now. And he got like slapped bad. He did take some time off, and he's took enough time off to come back. Maybe he can win by using his grappling and win by decision. But I think Lucas Almeida by TKO, which is likely the way he's gonna win this fight if he wins, is plus 350. I think the best play here is Lucas Almeida by moneyline at plus 170, and anything can happen. So I think that's why I have Lucas Almeida in my favorite underdogs. Alright, guys, now for the next most likely underdogs to pull through and get a win is Armen Petrosyan. Guys, I know Leroy Duncan looked really good in his last fight, but I mean, Petrosyan has faced some good fighters. I mean, he's got wins over Izzy Dobson, which is a clean unanimous decision win. Then got a win over Gregory Rodriguez, who's an absolute monster and hits like a truck. I will say this Christian Leroy is very, very dangerous, but Petrosyan has a pretty good chin, and he's pretty technical in his striking. Very good kickboxer, gets his high kicks up pretty fast. If Armen Petrosyan wins this fight, I think it's gonna be by decision. At plus 250, this is a good prop to attack. And Duncan is not tested enough for me to be super confident on him. So I think if Armen Petrosyan is able to get this win, it's going to be by decision. At plus 250, I would advise you guys to sprinkle just a little bit here. Alright, guys, so for my next underdog, I think I have it, Jared Cannonier. I know this is against my lock of the week, Marvin, the Italian Dream Vittori. But this is gonna go 5 rounds, which I think is very likely. It does go 5 rounds. And if Jared Cannonier keeps the volume that he's been keeping, like he kept in his Strickland fight, he's gonna land the more impactful strikes, the more like obvious strikes. I think he's gonna have the more power here. He has really good leg kicks, really good kicks, body kicks, and Marvin Vittori only started throwing leg kicks. I mean, so there is that. But Jared Cannonier is 39 years old. I don't see him finishing Marvin Vittori. Marvin Vittori has never been finished, never been submitted, never been knocked down, or even knocked out. And I don't see Jared Cannonier finishing him. Jared Cannonier has a finish over Derek Brunson. Who hasn't finished Derek Brunson? Everyone has finished Derek Brunson. And Marvin Vittori having the chin like Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum did get dropped in that fight, but I don't see Marvin Vittori getting clipped or dropped in this fight. Jared Cannonier, if he does win, I think it's going to be by decision. And at plus 300, I think a sprinkle is definitely worth it here, if you agree with these points that I made. Alright guys, for the next dog lock, not the dog lock, I mean my most confident underdog I have here is Nicholas Dalby. I think if Dalby does win this fight, it's going to be by decision. And the reason for that is Muslim Salikov is the powerful striker here, but he does not throw enough volume. That's always been one of my complaints for him. And he's not fighting Andre Fialho, who just can't take a fucking punch anymore. Just gets folded back to the cage and just used as like a body bag. That's Andre Fialho. Just knocked out like back to back. And Nicholas Dalby is durable. I mean, he's only been knocked out like once, and even that was overturned because the guy was like on the sauce. Has he been finished? Actually, never. He's never been finished. I think he did get finished. I think no. Yeah, he got choked out by Jesse Ramson, which was turned into a no contest. But he still got strangled. I mean, but he's never been knocked out. And he's had like 10 fights in the UFC. Never been knocked out. I don't see Muslim Salikov knocking him out. Salikov is the more powerful striker, I will say that. But if Dalby can clinch Salikov to the fence, let go of his strikes, land the more volume, which he's gonna land, then Salikov here, and he can easily win this fight. I mean, if Dalby does win, it's gonna be by decision, 100%. And I played him against in his last fight against Warley Always, and he got that win. He was underdog in that fight, I think. I remember. Yeah, he was underdog in that fight, and he did win that fight. Even though it was a close split decision, it's still a win either way. And I think a sprinkle here could be something, but I'm not too confident because Dalby is getting up there in age. We don't know how more durability he's gonna have at this age, but Salikov is 39 years old also. Alright guys, so that's it for the best bets, for the underdog locks, the dog locks, the long shot parlay, for the 50 parlay, the most confident underdog bets. Please guys, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. My goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the next 2 months, and I know we can get there for sure. Hit the like button, leave a comment for your boy for the algorithm. It really helps out. I just finished work, and that's why I had to get this video out as soon as I could. I know I'm late getting this video out, but there's still time for you guys to make some bets. And please be responsible with your money. Don't just bet blindly. These are my opinions. So do your own research and then I hope you guys make a lot of money. In the last 2 main events, I am 2-0, so there is that. I do think Marvin Vittori, my dog lock of the week, gets the win. But be careful, because Cannonier does hit hard and is a specimen at 39 years old. Alright guys, once again, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment for your boy for the algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself. I love you guys. Bye.